Oh man, before I do anything, I gotta clean. Yep, let me get that done. Hey, well, welcome back. I know it's my fault. I'm not the one sending out videos. You're the one that's been wondering where I'm at. But sometimes life gets in the way. I got a special 7-sign project I'm fixing to start on, and I'm going to be using the laser as well as doing a lot of hand routed carving on it. So this one's going to be a lot of fun, going to be a lot of work. So stick around and I'll show you how I'm going to do all this. But first things first, I got to clean the laser. I'll be right back. Well, welcome back. First thing I got to do is I got to get everything out of the way so I can get to the laser and do a good cleanup on it. And I've had people request me to show what it takes to run the laser. So this is an AP laser. It is the model SN1812. This is the smallest version that AP currently manufactures, but don't let small confuse you or underestimate the power what this little machine can do. It's got quite a bit of kick for it. So anyway, first thing I got to do is get my table out of the way, and it rolls up out of the way, and whoop, there we go, get the handle out of the way. So then what I need to do, and I'm going to move the camera around a couple of times, so I'm not going to talk about stopping or starting the camera. I'm just going to do it. But I've got to get to the back here, get to the laser tube, check the water in it, clean the mirrors back here, and then I'll come back up in front over here and I'll clean some mirrors in here, and the lens will clean that, and we'll clean the waves and everything inside. So hang on, I'll move the camera around. All right, what you're looking in is directly into the back of my laser. This is where the work does. This is the laser tube that does all the workings. This tank right here is my water tank, and I have to check the level, and I can see it's got plenty of water in it, so I don't need to change anything about it. But what I do need to do is, because I have a wood shop / laser shop, I get a lot of sawdust in everything, so I need to blow it all out. So cover your ears. I'm going to use my little battery powered blower, and we're going to blow it all out. So hang on. All right, your ears are okay now. So, like I said, first thing I needed to do was check the water level, and I need that to be within 1/4 of an inch of the top, which it is, so I'm in good shape with that. Check to make sure I don't have any water leaks or anything right here, the tube's not cracked or whatever, so everything's looking good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the locations and shoot down in on the lens cleaning back here, or excuse me, the mirror cleaning back here in the back. In order to clean the mirrors and the lenses, we use denatured alcohol in cotton swabs. We don't use the same swab on different items. So in other words, I've got this one right here, and I'm going to clean this front lens right here, or mirror right here, with this swab, and then I will change the other end and just kind of dry it off a little bit. All right, that swab is done. And the reason we don't cross use them is because when you're cleaning, you're picking up debris into the swab, and you don't want to cause any issues on your lenses or scratches them or whatnot. And with the denatured alcohol, you can really just let it dry and it'll be okay, but it's just in me to make sure that it's dry. So I give it a little bit of advanced work on it. So, all right, and then I'm going to come back inside over here, and I'm going to get the back side of the diode lens. What I'm cleaning right now, there's a red dot. It's a red diode, and that helps me see exactly where my laser is going to work. And if that's not cleaned, it's not going to work very well. So I do the same thing with that as I do with all the others. I clean it. So this side, back side is done. The water's good. The tube is clean. I don't see any reason why we can't just shut this up and go around to the front. All right, the first mirror we cleaned was actually called mirror number 1. So now what you're looking at is mirror number 2, and I'm getting some cotton swabs out, so bear with me. This is mirror number 2 right here, and we're going to do the same thing with that one as we did with the first one. We're just going to clean it with some denatured alcohol, and it doesn't take a whole lot, just enough to wet the swab. And then what I want to do is I just want to wipe down the surface of the mirror. And then I'll come back. Like I said, you don't have to do this, but I just do it just because I got it on there. Give it a little head start in drying. Okay. That took care of mirror number 2. Now, mirror number 3 is right here. Yeah, it's right here. And I've got to take a screwdriver and pop that little mirror out. So my hands are going to be in the way, but I'm taking these 3 little screws loose. 2 of them I'll take out. This one right here I just loosen up. And then these 2 I'll take out, and that will allow me to take that mirror out and put those screws to the side so I don't lose them. They're very small, and I have fat fingers, so we all know what can happen with that combination. So now I'll take the cotton swab and I'll reach inside the lens holder and I'll pull that mirror out, and let me get a little alcohol on this one, and let's see if I can get this thing in here where y'all can see it. There we go. I'll try to hold my hand right there, and I'll wipe it down a little bit. This mirror's got a few little scratches on it, so probably the next 3 or 4 months I'm going to be replacing that one. That little booger right there is probably in the neighborhood of about $40 or $50. So, all right, but that's got that clean. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just clean the housing a little bit, and I'm using the same side that I put the denatured alcohol in just to help clean it up a little bit. So, all right. So get that out of the way and get the screwdriver back up here. I'm going to pop the lens or the mirror back in. Okay. All right, to clean the lens, first thing I do is I remove the cone, and I'll take a cotton swab and I'll just clean out inside of it. Get another kind of swab out. Now the next thing I've got to do, inside here there is a silver retaining ring that's made out of aluminum. I've got to use this tool to remove it, and I just cover the end of that tool with blue painter's tape just to keep from scratching the lens, because the gold right behind it, if you can see it, that's the lens. So what I've got to do is I've got to remove the lens. So I use this tool to back it out. Okay, now it's there and I can drop it out. And again, so the tube is clean. There's not a whole lot we have to do to that. I just check and make sure the threads inside aren't messed up or whatever. So that's ready to go. So now we pop off the O-ring, and so now we have the lens. And I'm going to see if I can come up here and show you what this lens looks like. All right, this side is kind of hard to see, but this is convex, and then its underside down here is concave. So anyway, so this I have to clean. This gets dirty the quickest, and I have to clean this pretty regular. You know, I mean, actually I do it pretty much every day. I clean the lens. The mirrors and the water level back there, they don't tend to get as dirty, but I'll clean them every week. But my lens, right here, I will actually clean this thing. All right, so now we get to put the lens back together. And to put that back together, we want to make sure that the convex side is up, facing up towards me this way. And then I just drop in the O-ring, and then the retaining screw, or the retaining nut rather, and then you got to be careful and get the threads, don't let them get cross-threaded, because they're both aluminum, so they can be damaged. There we go, there it dropped in. You'll feel it when it drops in. Alright, so now tighten this down. And that can be real snug, just enough to keep the lens in place. And then you just take one last look to make sure the lens is clean, which it is. And then I can put the cone back on. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to wipe down all the ways, and I want to get the dirt and grime and grease and all that's built up. As you can see, it builds up on there. So I want to reach back there and I want to get that all out, clean that all up best I can. Do the same thing on this x-axis. Wipe it down, and you see it gets, that's the one that usually gets a lot more dirt on it because it's right over the job that's being worked on. Okay. Clean it up real good. And then I've got another Y rail over here that I need to clean. These are, they go back and forth of the Y, and this is the x-axis. So I need to clean those rails on both sides of the Y. On both sides, here and here, and on the top of the x-axis, we have a series of belts. We want to make sure that those are snug, but not real tight, because they put excess pressure on the motor. But we want them to have about 1/4 of an inch of play without much pressure. So we always check those as well, and both sides are good. And all my tensions feel about the same. So while I've got everything out of the way, I just go ahead and I wipe down the inside of the frame. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3-in-1 oil, which is what the manufacturer recommends. And each of these black dots that you can see are mounting areas and stuff. And all we do is we just put a dot of oil between every other one. Okay, and then need that up here too. Just a little bit of a dot of oil on each one, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up here, and I'm just going to run the heads back and forth, kind of spreading out that oil all the way across the ways, and that keeps everything nice and smooth. And it doesn't cause any issues with your engravings. And then we're going to do the same thing in the y-axis. We're just going to run the gantry back and forth, spreading out that oil, and it does the same thing, keeps everything running nice and smooth, so we don't have any issues with our lines. It'll engrave nice and clean. The next step we're going to do, I'll have to turn on the laser for it, and we're going to do an alignment test. And we're going to make sure that all the mirrors are lined up and are firing exactly on center with each other. And so what I'm doing there is I'm actually covering where the actual beam comes in, hits the last mirror, and then goes through the lens to focal. But what I need to do is make sure that mirror 1, which was, remember, was back in the back cover, and then mirror 2, that they're going to be lined up and hitting square on like we need to. We'll check mirror 3 when we do a vertical focus to make sure everything's right. But so the first thing I need to do, like I said, is put that tape on it, and I'm going to fire up the laser. And then I'm going to back down on the power while it's resetting. And it'll come back up here in a minute. Okay, now I'm going to back down on my power because I don't need as much as it's going to be giving me. All right, we'll pulse it. Did it do it? Oh yeah, got a hole. Good deal. All right, so now we'll bring it down in the lower left. We'll pulse it. We'll move it to the lower right. And we'll pulse it. Okay. Now I'm going to take this tape off. And I'm going to bring it up here for y'all to see. And this is exactly what I want to see, is a single, nice, clean burn. One hole. I don't want to see a whole bunch of holes. I just want to see one hole like I've got right there. So that tells me my mirrors are all in line like they're supposed to. So now I'm going to undo the air, because I don't want the air blowing right now. It would push the tape off. So I'm going to take the tape and I'm going to put it on the bottom of my lens, and I'm pushing hard against the bottom of it because I want to see a ring in that tape. So now what I want to do, close the door. The door has to be closed before the laser will fire. That's just a safety feature. And I'll do a single pulse. Okay. So now I want to keep that tape in the same orientation. So I've got that tape running straight back and forth like this. If I had it this way, I'd want to hold that tape in the same direction. But now what I want to do is I want to take the tape off, holding it in the same orientation. Now, as you can see, it's just a little bit off and to the left of center. But you know, that's close enough, and it's not going to cause me any issues. So I'm not going to go through trying to readjust it right now. That's pretty close. So that tells me that my laser it is set up, it's calibrated, and it's ready to rock and roll. So when I come back, we will be getting this thing set up, and we'll get started on the first project, and I'll tell you all about it. So hang on, be right back. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. It's getting a little bit long, but I can't do it without first giving a big shout out to Joanne Willis, better known as Gigi. She is a phenomenal artist. She does a lot of wood sign carving with the router like we do by hand, but she also sublimates shirts and jackets and hats and things like that. She made my t-shirt that I'm wearing today, put my logo on the front as well as on the back. She made my hat for me. So Joanne, I can't thank you enough for the love and support that you give me, and I love you to pieces. You know that. I love Scotty and your whole family. I'm so glad to call y'all my friends, and you are my sawdust sister, girl. I appreciate you very much. If y'all would go to Gigi's Custom Wood Signs over on YouTube, give her a like and subscribe, and give her a shout out. You'll be glad that you're seeing her and all the work that she does. So I know I haven't given y'all the name of the project that I'm working on, and I'll do that in this next video. This is a project that's very near and dear to my heart, and I'm very honored to be involved with it. Like I said, it's going to be involving both my laser as well as hand carving on the wood signs. So I wanted to go ahead and make this first video about the prep work we do in getting the laser ready to go. And I had several people ask me about that, so I thought, well, this is a good intro into this project since I'm going to be using both the laser as well as the wood routers. So in the meantime, hug everybody that you know, tell them you love them, and I appreciate all the support and love and well wishes that all of us here on the Texas Gulf Coast have received from all of y'all with Hurricane Nicholas hitting on us. But let's not forget our neighbors to the east over in Louisiana. This was the second hurricane they've got hit with in just a matter of weeks. Plus, they're still recovering from all the hurricanes they received last year. So if you would continue to keep all our Cajun counterparts in your prayers, and let's keep their hopes and wishes and good feelings up. And they need good spirit vibes sent their way. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that y'all are showing to all of us. So that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. God bless.